Well, welcome to the show. I am your gracious host, Daniel. And I just want to, first of all, I want to say welcome to all the new subscribers to the channel. Welcome. Thank you for your support. I do appreciate you. I want to touch on the topic before we get to Judge Aquilina's docket, and that is about the body cam footage. All of a sudden, we started doing this, and nothing happened. Now all of a sudden, I'm getting copyright struck for it, for visual. You have to understand that the reason why I took those videos down and stopped doing it because I'm tired of somebody. I mean, they probably have the right. I don't think they have the right to copyright it. It's not their. They have the right to copyright it, but normally, body cam footage is public information, so it'll just be everyday judges. I tried. I really tried. I wanted to bring something different to the channel. Every time I do, every time I try to bring something different to this fucking channel, somebody's got to start shit. Everybody's got to start shit about it. I'm tired of it. Let's see who we got on here. We got two on YouTube side, nobody on Rumble. And that's another thing too. You make the suggestion that I go on Rumble, okay? And I set everything up, and then nobody goes to Rumble. What the fuck? And so far, I've only made 2 pennies on Rumble from all the videos and the content that I put up there. I'm pissed off. And what pisses me off worse is, well, what pisses me off is that these bigger channels can do that body cam footage shit, and they get away with that shit. A small channel does it, and they're gonna get copyright struck. You know what? Fuck them. I just stopped doing the body cam footage. I removed those videos from my YouTube, from the YouTube channel, and we'll just do judges every day. Because most of the stuff comes from the judges anyway. I don't think a judge is going to do anything about it. Yeah, you need to watch that one I did, that patriotic tribute. I thought it was funny when I did it. But what I don't understand is we have 140, as far as I know, as of today, we have 148 subscribers on this channel. And only one person comes in here. And she's a moderator. I have a moderator I haven't heard from in months. Don't know what's going on. Never get any emails. She never replied to my emails. She's supposed to be one of the most loyal subscribers on this channel. And disappears. Nobody says anything to anybody. I don't know if she's pissed off at me or pissed off at the people who attacked the channel back then. But normally, if she was pissed off, she would have emailed me and told me she was pissed off. You know, you got people who are subscribers to this channel but rather be on other channels. They rather be on the big channel. They support the bigger channels but don't support this one. Oh, I'm getting such a fucking headache from this. And as far as the two fleas, that content is always going to be made in the video content. I reserve the right as the channel owner if I want to make, whether I want to put it on, do a live stream about it, or make video content. But since they only go on they go on Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturday, and Sunday, 4 times most of the time. I'd rather use my time now for the courts and not use the time for them. I can make video content and upload video content. I'd rather make video content because you adding to, you know, you're adding to the videos that are being uploaded to the channel. And you know what's funny? And I'm going to say this because I haven't made the video yet. I haven't made the two videos yet of the last night's stream. What the fuck did you think you were going to? You didn't prove. I'm going to say this. You never proved a fucking thing last night. You say that you don't steal people's content, but you stole three videos. You stole three clips from Jeremy's content, altered it, and tried to use it against him. And you have the fucking balls to copyright Megan, Tug, or Shizzy, or any of them that report on a fucking story? You're a fuck you, okay? You're a piece of fucking trash. I'm sorry for cussing, but that pisses me off. Your stream last night didn't prove shit. And it's like the Aces High and the Blindside that you did a while back. It was a bust. It didn't prove shit. You fucking people make me sick. You make me want to leave YouTube because I don't want to be on a platform that allows that kind of trash. You always, and I'm gonna say this right now, and you can't say shit, Lisa, okay? Because this is the truth right here. You want to know the fucking truth? One, you're a piece of shit. Number two, you accuse Jeremy of stalking Michelle and John, but yet you are using your fucking channel to stalk Jeremy and George and Shizzy and Megan and Tug, or anybody that talks about Jeremy Hales. You do exactly the opposite of what you accuse. You do the same thing as what you accuse others of doing. You're gonna copyright strike somebody for showing a little piece of your shitty little show. But you steal Jeremy's content, and how many times do you say? How many times have you done it? How many times have you done it and tried to alter it? But we all know it's his content, and then you didn't prove shit. Then you didn't prove shit. Your stream last night proved nothing. Just like the Blind Side and the Aces High that you did. It's just you stealing content and trying to use it against him. What you showed last night was Jeremy talking like he always talks in the live stream, in his live streams. It's called freedom of speech. Jeremy can say whatever he wants. You keep accusing Jeremy of lying, but never showed any proof. Not one shred of proof. I want to see the evidence. I want to see the proof. You can send it to me here. I want to see it. The email address is in the channel's homepage. I want to see it. Because you haven't proven shit in 3 fucking years. Almost 3 fucking years now. But like I said, you accuse people of you steal Jeremy's content and alter it, and you try to use it against him. But it's like I said, you do that, and then when somebody uses clips and stuff from your channel, it's a copyright infringement, or they're harassing or defaming you. Fuck you, Lisa. You fat fucking piece of shit. I'm getting tired of you harassing and stalking Jeremy because you. And I'm going to say you're harassing and stalking Jeremy and everybody, because you believe the lies of a pathological fucking liar. And that's all LMNOP is, a pathological liar. Plain and simple as that. So I see 2 on YouTube and none in Rumble. Oh, man. All right. I guess what I'm trying to say is you accuse people, you false copyright strike people for using your little clips of your show. But you steal Jeremy's content, try to alter it. No, it's not too much. I'm going to say something too, okay? This is my channel, and you know what? I'll end the stream right now, and that'll be it, okay? It's called freedom of speech. But you know what? We'll get on to Judge Aquilina. And then I will not come back on YouTube anymore.
Testimony you're about to provide will be the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth, and the penalty of perjury.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Have you had any medication yesterday or today?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it anything that would interfere in your ability to understand the court or your attorney? Is the medicine that you took, would it affect your ability to understand the court?
Oh, no, I
or
can
your attorney?
understand.
All right.
Yeah.
Is there medicine you're supposed to be on that you're not on?
No, I'm taking all my meds.
Okay, good. And you feeling okay today, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Any sign of fever, COVID, or other illness?
No, ma'am.
Have you had an opportunity to speak with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you reviewed the pre-sentence investigation report with her?
Oh,
This report about sentencing that was, did you look at it?
Yes, I have.
Did you have enough time to look at it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Sir, if you need more time during this hearing, you let me know, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Sir, you pled to 2 counts of, well, I guess they're all weapons charges, but they're a little different. Count 1, weapons carrying concealed, punishable by 5 years. Count 2, weapons, firearms, possession by a prohibited person, punishable by 5 years. And count 4, weapons, felony firearms, punishable by 2 years. And that is consecutively with and preceding any term of imprisonment imposed for the felony. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. On behalf of the people, any corrections, additions, deletions?
Yes, Your Honor. On the cover sheet, the sentencing date says 1/14 of 2026. That should be obviously changed to today's date of 2/11 of 26.
And then the jail date credits have to be changed?
Correct, and that would be stipulated upon as 173.
That's correct. I've changed that on the cover page, I'm changing that on the recommendations.
And that'll need to be changed to the basic information report as well, Your Honor.
Yes, and then instant offense.
And that was on page 8.
Yeah. To change the dates on 173 and the sentencing date. For, basic relationship. And then count 2, it has 0 jail credit dates.
Correct, Your Honor, due to the felony firearm charges.
All right, anything else? Any other corrections
Not to the body of the report, Your Honor.
on behalf of the defendant?
We have no corrections besides those that we, Mr. Buxton mentioned, we stipulate to those.
And then, to the body, there's no, I'm sorry, to the guidelines, there's no changes on.
So, Your Honor, actually, I forgot, there is one more change to the body. It's really not substantial, but on page 5 of the pre-sentence investigation report, on the number 5 in regards to the criminal convictions, the second to last box, final charges, it says that it is a Class D controlled substance. It should be controlled substance.
I have no objection to that.
Yeah, that seems to be a no-brainer. but
Yes.
No, okay.
And then in regards to the guidelines, Your Honor, it appears as though probation ended up marking one of the misdemeanors as a felony. And as such, PRV 2 should be changed to 20 instead of 30. And
Is that on both of them?
that would be on both, Your Honor. And PRV 5 should be 15 instead of 10.
We have no objection to that. Believe it would change the total PRV at least on the first one to 130.
It'll change it on both.
On both of them, yeah.
And it will not change the guideline range.
Okay, I've changed that to 130 on both, and then I need to change that on the basic information sheet. All right. Those changes have been made. Anything further?
Not regards to the guidelines, Your Honor.
All right. On behalf of the people, what would you like me to know?
I guess, Your Honor, I will note that while these crimes, we actually got rid of the victim's crimes, there is a victim impact statement here in the PSI. I will also say, Your Honor, that our office had received contact from a Christine Agueros on
Can you
January
spell that?
Agueros,
Thank you.
who works in the jail, stating that the defendant has been contacting the victim under a fake name and number his entirety of the jail sentence there. The people are concerned that the defendant was presumably having contact with the victim the entire time that he was in custody. It also concerns me, based on the victim's statements, that there may have been some kind of influencing on behalf of the victim. As such, Your Honor, as the defendant ultimately violated the court order in regards to these things, ultimately, if you were to go outside of the Killebrew agreement, he would not be unable to withdraw his plea due to this. So I just want to make the court aware of that. In regards to the actual recommendation, I do believe that the recommendation by probation is appropriate in this matter, Your Honor, and ask that you follow those recommendations. The people are ultimately concerned with the defendant's criminal history, as well as the fact that he is a self-reported prior gang member of the Chicagoland Vice Police. And that was in 1980, Your Honor, so I understand that was a long time, but the fact that that wasn't his history, the fact that there was ongoing criminal history from 1980 has the people concerned. So we would ask that you follow the recommendation in this case. Thank you.
I'm confused, and I think this is wrong. The recommendations for weapons carried concealed is 146 months. 146 months is 12 years and 2 months. That's, this is a 5-year felony, isn't it?
Correct, I believe that should be days. Where are you seeing?
Under recommendations, it says months.
Reading the recommendation narrative, I see it as.
No, not the narrative.
Oh, okay.
Go to where it's the page 2. There's the cover page, and then there's page 2, and it has the Department of Correction recommendation. 146 months to 146 days. or jail credit for 146 days, which I've changed to 173. That should not be 146 months.
Correct, that should be 146 days, Your Honor, with credit for 146 days.
Okay, so there's another correction. Okay. And it would be 173 days.
Correct.
Correct.
So let me just check that body. Under their recommendations, if they.
And the body is correct, Your Honor. It just, we would need to check, correct the days to be 173 instead of 146. And that recommendation in the body, Your Honor, in the recommendation narrative is the 24 months to be served consecutive with preceding count 2 and concurrent to count 1. And then a guideline range of 13 to 60 months on the count 2 to be served consecutive with count 4, but concurrent to count 1.
Okay. And that's the people's recommendation.
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel?
Yes, Your Honor. We'd ask the court to follow the recommendation of probation and sentence Mr. Reed to the bottom of the guidelines. In this case, I believe they're 9 to 23. So we'd ask that you schedule him at the minimum of the 9, obviously with the 2-year consecutive. Mr. Reed, in this case, took this deal knowing that this was going to be an incarceration sentence, knowing that what he did was wrong and that he needed to own up to that and to face those facts. So he does that willingly here today. I don't think there's any doubt, and I don't think Mr. Reed would doubt himself, that he would benefit from the services that would be offered by MDOC and helping him get back on track, so that once he's eventually released, he can start to be better, a better member for society, and use the resources that MDOC has to offer. So we would ask that you follow the Killebrew agreement.
Thank you. Sir, what would you like me to know?
Excuse me, ma'am, I hear you.
Would you like me to know anything? It's your turn to speak.
You can make a statement if you want to.
Oh, I'm saying I'm sorry for being right here in front of you, man, right now, right? And I do need some help right now, right? I hate to go back to the joint, but then I ain't trying to waste y'all time in here neither, right? I mean, up here, I've been up here for about 25 years, man, and trust, I really don't trust nobody, right? Because I never know when nobody gonna try to take something from me because I keep too much money on me, right? And I just wanna live right and try not to bother y'all.
Well, if you're worried about your money, put it in a bank. If you need help, call 911. If you continue to keep having guns, at some point, you're gonna live the rest of your life in prison.
I hear you, man.
Well, you gotta change your ways, sir. I appreciate that you don't trust many people, but people should know you have cash on you. And the best way to have your money is in a bank, and then you withdraw it when you need it. You got a whole lot of trouble going on here, sir.
Yeah, I know, understand.
All right. All right, sir, as to count 1, you'll serve 173 days jail with credit for 173 days, concurrent with count 4, which is 24 months in the Michigan Department of Corrections with credit for 173 days served, which is consecutive with and preceding count 2 and concurrent with count 1. Count 2 is 13 months to 60 months in the Michigan Department of Corrections with credit for 0 days. And that is consecutive to count 4 and concurrent to count 1. While you are in there, you should avail yourself of these services for employment and education and cognitive therapy to learn to make better decisions. You have 42 days to appeal and to request appellate counsel. While I know I did not have to follow the agreement, I think it's in everybody's best interest that I do. And hopefully he's learned his lesson. Good luck to you, sir. Do you acknowledge receiving the appellate rights? Have you,
This is the appellate's right form. She said if you want to appeal your sentence, you have to fill this form out. Do you acknowledge that you've received this form?
Yeah,
all right, we're gonna put on the note that you are a bit hard of hearing so that they know that at the Department of Corrections, so you don't get in trouble for not paying attention when you can't hear, so.
yeah, and I need to drink some water when I'm down there, because last time when I was down there, I fell out and bust my head, it got like 4 or 5 stitches,
Okay.
man.
Well, they give you water to drink, don't they?
The water, not the water out the faucet, that water don't taste right.
Okay.
If they had some water in the kitchen with a little coolness to it, I don't mind drinking the water, because I know you gotta have water to drink.
All right, well, just put on the court note, he needs to be seen by medical, have water and electrolytes, and also a hearing aid, check, okay?
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
All right,
Yep, thank you.
there's a lot of other things that have electrolytes, but you need to stay hydrated, sir,
Right.
okay? That's all for the record.
Your Honor, just to double check, did you sentence on count 4? I don't.
Yes,
Okay.
I did, didn't
Yeah.
I'll look.
I? Yeah,
You just have the 2 years and then consecutive
Okay,
to.
I just wanted to make sure.
yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, thank you. Was that the protected person?
It was not. I double checked, it was not.
She was recording, I just saw.
What are we doing next?
This is just a motion for default.
Oh.
So we're going on record on?
It's the, well, versus Zachary.
Is it on our?
Yes, once, very good.
Yeah, you're right. What case is that? All right, it's page 2 to top. Do you see it?
Yes, I am.
All right, this is docket 24-885 CK, Donald Wepley versus Zachary Harmon. Counsel?
That's correct, Your Honor. Billy J. O'Berry on behalf of the plaintiff, Donald Welpley. I'm here today because the defendant, Zachary Harmon, we've been unable to serve him, and we attempted service, and there should be an affidavit of non-service in the file. And I did come to the court by motion and request permission to serve by publication, and there should be an certification of publication through the
I have that.
paper as well, and to which he's not responded. In addition, we did request a forwarding address through, because at one point we thought he lived in Leslie. We checked there, didn't find anything. I did a reverse search on Wise Road in Lansing. Our process server was there. Nobody ever heard of him. There was a post office box in Sunfield, Michigan, and I tried mailing there. It came back, no forwarding. So we've been unable to locate him, and it's been a substantial amount of time. This involves a company called the Bugman, and I literally have seen trucks with the Bugman on them and stopped the truck to see if they even have heard of this individual, and I've had no luck at all tracking this person down. So I had asked for a judgment to be entered on the sale of an interest in this company, the Bugman, to him, and he's not responded.
All right, well, I don't know what else you could do. Therefore, your request for default is granted.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Do you have default for me to sign, or will you be sending that?
The default, I think, should be in there.
Let me just see, I've got the order.
thought there was.
It might have been that you filed it, it's not, I don't have it in my file, we could probably print one. Or maybe you just didn't get
There's
printed.
a second page, default entry. May approach, I don't know, maybe I didn't, maybe I didn't put that in there.
Can I have this copy signed?
Yes,
There's a second. Oh, so yeah. I have the first page, not the second,
Oh.
but that's okay. I have to do the first page, Frank.
Printer in the office.
Can I go get it?
Yeah.
It's probably right in the one, I just want to get the first page too. Nice to see you, Council. It's been a long time.
yes,
How is your beautiful daughter?
she's at the Attorney General's office in Corporate Oversight Division, so she's been there about a year. Actually, it's probably going on 2 years now, but she had worked at the Saginaw County Prosecutor's Office for about 5 years, and then Eaton County Prosecutor's Office for, I think, another almost 4 years, and then just recently went on to be as an assistant.
I ran into her, I don't remember where, and I think I remember her telling me that, but yeah.
So she's back in the downtown area.
That's good.
No, I don't come to court a lot. Being that I'm retired, I can pick and choose the cases that I want to take. So I do a lot of real estate transactions, probate court matters, helping people like that. My husband was a past commander at the VFW. And there were some people, older people that needed some assistance, and by word of mouth, it's like, I got so busy just trying to help people, and, you know, people, they're well-intentioned, but they don't know what they're doing, and so they call up and say, can you help me out? So,
Well, that's very nice of you.
yeah, so I get involved like that. I'm not big on doing family law, because no one's happy in family law, custody
Yeah,
and
that's
all
true.
that.
Yeah,
So-
that is the most dangerous floor we have.
Although I have to say, I did, because I knew some people and they convinced me to take a case in Eaton County. And I did, and Alan Schlossberg, of course, is the referee up there. And the other side was unrepresented and terminated his counsel. So referee Schlossberg said, okay, this is what we're gonna do. Ms. O'Barry's gonna work out this visitation and custody schedule, and you're both gonna listen to her. And I mean, I was honored that he had confidence in me, but it was a lot of work to get those two parties to
Yeah,
come to an agreement, so,
I remember those days.
yes.
Alan's a nice guy, though.
Yes, he's
Does a
very
good job
nice,
over there.
very nice. And your family, I'm doing well?
Yeah, everybody's doing well, growing up. Twins are driving. We're gonna get their license in April. Not happy about that.
I was just thinking about them today because I was trying to figure out how much younger they were than my granddaughter, and she is 19.
Wow, I can't believe that.
No, and, you know, we still call her Baby Grace. And she
Yeah,
doesn't like that, of course, but she's going to Central. And she got a scholarship to go there, and so she wanted space. She wanted some space from, can you imagine that, from great grandma, her mom, and myself, that we would be
Yeah.
overbearing women.
yeah. Well, that's okay. What does she want to do?
Business, she wants to go into finance, and she's something about logistics or something or other. And people go, she's not gonna go to law school, and I said, who knows? You know, when you first start out, you really don't know for sure what you want to do. Of course, she was always involved in sports, so, and had several injuries, did a lot of rehabilitation for injuries and things. And I said, you know, you sure you're not interested in that? I would think with your background, that'd be something that you might be interested in. And
Yeah,
no, she said she wasn't.
yeah, my youngest is thinking about doing that, but who knows?
It's very interesting. I mean, because I went with her for a lot of the rehabilitation, and she literally blew apart a knuckle on her hand
Oh,
in a tournament, and the I call it contraption that they built to go on the outside, an external fixation or whatever, so that she would be able to retain movement in that knuckle. It was just amazing what they can do,
Yeah.
reconstruct basically, so.
I don't know what's taking Brian so long, but I read both pages of this to enter, so.
I do have another page of it.
Do you have the first page? Because I have two, but not one or two.
Did you find it? I don't have it. I didn't see it. It's just, I didn't see the motion there, it's just some, the default.
I saw it.
You filed it, right? Somebody else filed.
Yes, I found all
Otherwise, you can just,
default right here, default requests for entry. For some reason, this one doesn't have a signature. Oh, yes, because when I came in, the court, because it's gotta be notarized, and the clerk downstairs, this one's not notarized, because the clerk notarized it when I signed it, the default
we
request.
just see it and won't worry about it. Did you see it? If it's notarized, it should be in there.
I didn't see it.
Yeah, the court officer downstairs notarized it for me when I had signed it. That was just an extra. And they must have mailed the other one.
So here's what we're gonna do. Brian, make a copy of this, but I'm gonna give this original to her, because she can go downstairs and see what the clerk's filed. If not, they gotta re-sign this or something.
Motion for default.
Because I'm worried it's not in the file.
It's not.
Okay.
Put it in, that's it.
That's her.
No, this is not accurate. Yeah.
Copy of page just so we have my file, and then get that back to Billy so she can do whatever she needs downstairs.
Yep.
All right, so go back on the record, the court has signed the document, and council, I'm just instructing you to go downstairs and file the original so we can verify that that cover page was, that they did what they were supposed to do.
Okay, that's fine, thank you.
Okay, thank you. That's all for the record.
I usually take a second before I get it all. Yeah. Just needs the original.
We just do both sheets.
Yep.
Nice seeing you, thank you too.
Here's the original.
Thank you, and I'll take it from the clerk. Thank you. Oh, thank you.
Tell Jolene hello.
I will, I certainly will. It's good to see you.
Nice seeing you. Okay, here we go.
Sir, are you familiar with something called a semi-automatic handgun?
Yes.
When a semi-automatic handgun is fired, what if anything is ejected from the vehicle?
The casing from the round.
When you processed the vehicle, other than this suspected bullet defect, did you find any other ballistics items, for example, a fired cartridge casing, a bullet, or bullet fragments inside the car?
I did not.
So the only thing that was left when you processed the vehicle appeared to be this defect in the molding and the metal in the area described. Is that accurate?
Yes.
I'm going to show you one final photograph here, please, showing you People's Exhibit number 117. Show us, please, if you could, with a circle, that area where that suspected bullet defect was located in this photograph. Okay. All right, going back to the initial photograph of the car door itself, I know it's a little difficult to tell, but can you approximate for us, in relationship to the bottom of the window, where would that defect have been located on the car, if you know?
Somewhere in this area here.
All right. So if a human was sitting in the front passenger seat, in your opinion, would that have been consistent with the upper portion, a human adult, I should say, would that be consistent with the upper portion of their body, their neck, or their head area?
I believe so, yes.
Is that a relevant or significant finding to you in this case?
Yes, it was.
And was it significant, especially in light of the fact that there was suspected blood inside of the vehicle in that general location?
Yes.
Sergeant Stanley, lastly about that bullet defect, did you, Officer Fearnow, on that date do anything further to test the area of that suspected bullet strike at the area of the rubber molding in the window?
No.
Okay, so if that was done, that would have been done later by Officer Fearnow?
Yes.
Earlier in your testimony, you talked about something called Blue Star. So I want to talk about that now, please. Could you describe for the jury what is Blue Star and what is its purpose?
Blue Star is a chemical that comes in 2 pills or capsules. Gets put in water or dissolves, and then it will react with iron in the blood and make it illuminate a bright blue color.
What is the purpose of Blue Star to you as a crime scene investigator?
It is to try to find blood that is not visible, so blood that's been cleaned up or just on a dark surface that you won't be able to see with the naked eye.
How does Blue Star detect blood that you cannot, or suspected blood that you might not be able to see with the naked eye?
It reacts with iron in the blood. I mean, I don't know exactly how it works. I was trained how to use it and observe it.
All right, so for example, sir, I showed you photographs, multiple photographs of that seat cover. You couldn't observe blood with the naked eye on that seat cover, is that correct?
Correct.
Could it potentially be possible, even if you couldn't see it, that Blue Star might show the presence of possible blood on that seat cover?
Yes.
All right, is that why you decided to use it?
Yes.
Can you tell us, please, where inside of the vehicle you and Officer Fearnow applied the Blue Star product?
It was applied to the entire inside of the vehicle
How do you go about applying it to the inside of the vehicle?
with a spray bottle, and then we also have a pump sprayer.
How long do the effects of Blue Star last inside of the vehicle?
In my experience, it's typically a few minutes.
All right. Does it damage the interior of the vehicle in any way?
No.
If there are areas that react positively with the Blue Star, can that reaction be photographed?
Yes.
How do you photograph it?
Typically with a long exposure, the shutter stays open longer on the camera.
Do you do that in the dark or the light?
In the dark.
Okay, why do you do it in the dark?
Just because of the nature of trying to get a picture of something that's glowing.
Okay, so I guess that's my question. How does Blue Star show if it comes into contact with suspected blood?
It illuminates blue.
Okay, glows blue, right? All right. When you applied the Blue Star inside of the vehicle, what, if anything, did you observe, please?
I observed areas that received a positive reaction with the Blue Star.
We're going to go through the photos, of course, but can you describe in general terms the areas where you specifically observed Blue Star react inside of the vehicle?
Front and rear passenger compartments.
When you applied the Blue Star, was the front passenger seat removed from the vehicle?
Yes.
Did you also separately then spray the front passenger seat with Blue Star as it was removed from the vehicle?
Yes, it did.
And what, if anything, did you observe in terms of reaction when you sprayed the Blue Star on the removed front passenger seat?
That also showed a positive reaction to the presence of blood.
All right, during the course of your processing, sir, did you have occasion to take photographs, as you described, of that Blue Star reacting inside the car?
Yes, it did.
Our next bulk admission by stipulation will be as follows. People need to admit people's proposed exhibits 118 through 131.
By stipulation admitted.
Right, I'm not going to go through all of these because some of them show up to varying or lesser degrees on the overhead. So I don't want the jury just looking at black images, okay? But the jury's free to look at those as they move forward in the deliberations. Let me start with people's exhibit number 120. And can you tell us, please, where are we inside of the car, people's exhibit 120?
That's the front passenger door.
Do you remember you described taking a blood swab in the area of KK in that front passenger side?
Yes.
Okay, where do we see the Blue Star reacting here in this photograph?
There's some reaction here. Close here.
All right, so with the overhead light, it actually shows up just a little bit better. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. So again, we see the Blue Star reacting on the front passenger door in at least two separate spots that you've circled in people's 120.
Yes.
Looking at people's 121, are you able to tell, at least from looking at that photograph, where we are in the car?
That would be the front passenger side where the seat would have been.
And what do we see observing in this photograph?
Blue Star reaction.
Showing you people's 122. Where are we geographically inside the vehicle, please?
It's the same front passenger area.
And we see quite extensive Blue Star reaction in that area. Isn't that correct?
Yes.
Showing people's 123. Can you tell us where we are geographically inside the vehicle?
It's the front passenger area.
And what do we observe of significance in people's 123?
Evidence markers, please.
And what do we see around the evidence markers, please?
Reaction from the Blue Star.
Showing you people's 124. Where are we in people's 124 inside the vehicle, if you know?
I believe that's the back passenger area.
We see extensive interaction or reaction of Blue Star at that location, is that correct?
Yes.
Showing you people's 125 as a reference point that appears to be cut out carpet. Where are we inside the vehicle?
That's taken of the back passenger area.
Showing you 127. What are we looking at in 127, please?
That's the cutout area over in the back passenger seat area where the carpet was missing.
And what, if anything, do we observe in 127 as it relates to the presence of Blue Star?
There's some illumination.
Showing you people's 128. What do we see in people's 128?
It's the same back passenger area.
And Blue Star illumination in that photograph?
Yes, with a evidence marker.
I want to move now to the seat, a photograph taken before the seat cover was taken off, but after cutting, okay?
Okay.
Do you recognize this as the front passenger seat?
Yes.
All right, does the cover appear to, even though cut, does it still appear to be on the front passenger seat?
Yes, it does.
And what do we see in this particular photo?
Reaction from Blue Star.
So we see reaction from Blue Star. It looks like it's on both sides, all the way down to the side, and then all the way down to the front and underneath where you were able to obtain swabs. Is that correct?
Correct.
And lastly, showing you people's 131. What is this a photograph of?
That would be the side of the front passenger seat closest to the driver's side of the vehicle.
And what, if anything, is significant in people's 121, please?
The reaction of Blue Star on the side of the seat.
And again, as you indicated, this would be the side that's closest to the driver's side of the vehicle. So it's the front passenger seat closest to the driver's side, correct?
Yes.
And that's a pretty extensive Blue Star reaction. Is that correct, sir?
Correct.
All right. I'm going to hand you what's been marked into evidence in this case as people's 132. Ask if you can identify what we have in 132, please.
Yes, sir.
What is that?
It's a Michigan registration for the GMC.
Why was it important for you as a crime scene investigator to take a photograph of the registration?
It's just to show who the vehicle's registered to.
Is this fairly inaccurately depict what you were photographing that day?
Yes.
Your Honor, I'm going to move admission of people's proposed 132, please.
Objection or what here?
No objection, Your Honor.
132 is admitted.
All right. And sir, with respect to the owner or registered owner of this 2011 GMC, who is the registered owner? Was it again that name you can't pronounce? Philomena?
Philomena, yes.
Louise James?
Correct.
With an address of 2925 Beaujardin Drive, apartment 213. Is that accurate?
Yes, it is.
Can you tell us what, if anything, was done to process the interior or exterior of the vehicle for fingerprints? And if nothing was done, tell us why.
There was no prints taken. We would have taken prints from the inside of the vehicle, but due to the Blue Star, it would ruin any chance of prints by it because it makes it wet in there.
Given the amount of blood that you observed, was, in your mind, Blue Star more important at that point in time for investigative purposes than potentially dusting the interior?
Yes.
Okay. After you process this vehicle with Officer Fearnow, can you tell the jury where would it have been taken next?
The vehicle would have been taken to the Lansing Police Department in Panama.
All right. So I want to move ahead now, please, to the date of March 3rd of 2021. Were you still employed and working as a crime scene investigator on that date, sir?
Yes, it was.
Were you also working on March 3rd of 2021?
Yes.
Officer Stanley, I want to direct your attention, please, to the time of 4:19 p.m. Were you again contacted to provide assistance in connection with this investigation?
Yes, it was.
Who contacted you to provide investigative services?
Detective Osborne.
And what investigative assistance were you requested to provide that day?
To process a bag that was located that had phones in.
All right, tell us what you did to come into contact with that bag, please.
The Officer Brandberg and Detective Osborne brought it down to the CSI area.
All right. And did you come into contact with that item?
Yes.
And did you look inside the item?
Yes.
Can you tell us what was contained inside, please?
There were, I believe, 3 cell phones, a pair of rubber gloves, and a half of $20 bill.
And what exact type of CSI services were you requested to provide on these items that were brought to you by Detective Osborne and Officer Brandenburg?
Blood swabs and fingerprints.
All right. So did you, first of all, photograph these items that were brought to you by Detective Osborne that day?
Yes.
All right. All right, so some of this evidence is already in this case, so I'll show you a couple items. First of all, showing you People's Proposal Exhibit number 166. Tell us what we're looking at, Exhibit 166.
Saying like trash bag.
Was this the item that was presented to you by Detective Osborne as we just discussed?
Yes,
Where was this photograph taken?
and CSI graph.
Does it fairly and accurately depict that white plastic trash bag that these items were contained?
Yes.
All right, I'm going to move admission, please, of People's Proposal Exhibit 166.
Any objection or voir dire?
No objection.
Admitted.
Could you throw some gloves on for me? I've just handed you the physical item. Is that the actual physical item that corresponds with People's Proposal Exhibit 166? All right, showing you on the screen the initial photograph that you took. This is the plastic bag that came to you that day.
Yes.
Is that the original condition and color of it when it was presented to you on March 3rd, 2021?
Yes.
Can you open up that bag, please, and show it to the jury? So we see you're showing it to the jury. We see on the top of it, is that item tied in some fashion?
Yes, it is.
And did you cut the bag open or pull the bag open to get into it, or did it present to you like that?
I believe it was presented to me like this.
There seems to be quite a different coloration, I would say, from the original and what we see here. Can you explain that, or is that just time, or was something done to that item?
This is the darker colors from print powder.
All right, so that dark color was applied by whom?
Myself.
All right, we're going to talk about that, but that explains the difference in color. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, if you can package that up, please. So I want to next approach you with People's Proposal Exhibit number 168. Ask if you can identify what we have in 168, please.
Yes.
What are those?
It's the rubber gloves that were given.
Is that a photograph of how those rubber gloves look when they were presented to you for processing on March 3rd of 2020?
Yes.
2021.
Yes, sorry.
All right. And does this photograph fairly and accurately depict the condition of the gloves that you were photographing that day?
Yes, it is.
All right, I'm going to move admission, Your Honor, People's Proposal Exhibit 168.
Any objection?
No objection.
Admitted.
Could you open that item there, sir?
Let me open these ones as well.
First, I'm going to show you this item right here, People's Proposal Exhibit number 1, or People's Admitted 168. Tell us what we're looking at in 168.
Those are the rubber gloves.
The coloration and the staining pattern that's observed on those, is that consistent with what they looked like when they were brought to you that day, sir?
Yes.
All right. Could you open those items for us, please, and show them to the jury? Again, we see some different coloration on the glove that you're showing to the jury presently for the record and what we see in the photograph. What's the difference for the coloration, please?
It's darkened from print powder.
All right, could you open the other one, please, and show it to the jury? showing us the second glove for the record, sir.
Yes,
And again, we see a difference in coloration. Is that from the print powder that was applied by yourself when you received those items?
yes, it is.
All right, thank you. All right, when you printed these items, first of all, the trash bag that we have, were you able to obtain any latent fingerprint lifts from that trash bag?
No, I was not.
Can you describe to the jury how you go about fingerprinting something and what the process is?
Typically items are put in a fuming tank, fumed with super glue. The super glue will vaporize and adhere to any moisture on the item, including fingerprints. And then they're dusted with fingerprint powder.
When you did that procedure with the plastic bag, were you able to develop any latent prints which had been left on that plastic bag?
No, I was not.
Did you also apply the same methodology to the 2 white rubber gloves that we just were shown?
Yes, I did.
And what, if anything, was the result of your fingerprint testing?
That was negative as well.
So no latent prints were developed from either of those 2 gloves that we just observed, is that correct?
Correct.
In addition to processing those 2 gloves for fingerprints, sir, did you do anything else to take biological material for later possible DNA testing?
Yes, I did.
What'd you do, please?
I took a swab from the outside of each glove and a swab from the inside of each glove.
When you say you took a swab from the outside of the glove, where would those swabs have been taken from, please?
The exterior where they're presented in this photograph.
And when you say you took swabs from the interior, where would you have taken those from?
From inside the glove.
Those 2, were they tagged into evidence in your usual course?
Yes.
All right, let me hand you what's been marked into evidence as People's Proposal 170 and 171. Ask if you can identify what those items are, please.
Yes.
What are those items, please?
The first one is a blood swab from the inside of the glove, mark number 1. And the other is a blood swab from the outside of the glove, mark number 2.
And I'm going to move admission at this time of People's Proposal Exhibits 170 and 171.
Any objection or voir dire?
No, Your Honor, no objection.
Both are admitted.
All right, my last question, sir, about the gloves. We've heard testimony from yourself, and then we see this, and we've heard testimony from Michigan State Police that there was discoloration, red-brown staining on the exterior of the gloves. Is that your opinion too when you made contact with them?
Yes.
And do you recall, sir, the staining that was on those gloves, did it appear to be wet or did it appear to be dry in nature?
Appear to be dry.
All right, consistent with what we see here, dried staining on both of those gloves. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Okay. You also received 3 cellular phones in connection that were included in this bag, sir?
Yes.
All right, we'll go through those with you, please. First been marked into evidence as People's Proposal 174. Identify what's contained in People's Proposal Exhibit 174.
Yes.
What is that item contained in People's 174?
It's a rose gold iPhone.
When you say it's rose gold, what portion of the item is rose gold?
The back and sides of the body.
And that item was tagged in to evidence in your usual manner?
Yes.
All right, Your Honor, people move to admit at this time People's Proposal Exhibit 171.
I'm sorry, 171 was already admitted.
Oh, what's the number on that?
174.
I'm sorry, 174.
No objection.
I did it reverse order, my apologies.
It's okay.
All right, that rose gold iPhone that you received, was that also photographed as part of your processing?
Yes, it was.
And was both the front and back of that item processed
Yes.
or photographed? I'm going to show you People's Proposal 172 and 173. Do you recognize those photographs?
Yes, sir.
And are those photographs of the front and back of this rose gold iPhone that was contained in the plastic bag?
Yes, sir.
Do they fairly inaccurately depict what you were photographing that day?
Yes, sir.
We're going to move the admission of People's Proposal 172 and 173.
Any objection?
No objection.
Admitted.
All right, so I want to show you people's exhibit number 172, and what portion of the phone are we looking at in 172?
It's the front of the phone.
What, if anything, was significant to you about what you observed on the front of that phone, please?
Suspected blood on the phone.
That blood or that suspected blood that you observed on the face of the phone, did that appear to be dry in nature as depicted in this photograph?
Yes.
Showing you people's exhibit 173, sir. What are we looking at, 173?
It's the back of the phone.
And did there also appear to be staining consistent with dry blood on the back of the rose gold iPhone?
Yes.
So with respect to your attempts to take any type of biological evidence from this rose gold iPhone, what did you do, please?
I took swabs from both the outside of the phone and then inside the phone case.
I want to show you what's been marked into evidence, equals 175. If you can identify what this is, please.
Yes.
What is that?
It's a blood swab from the edge of the iPhone.
Now I'm going to move admission, please, of people's proposal to the 175.
Any objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
Admitted.
So this item is a swab from the side of this phone, is that correct?
Correct.
All right. I'm showing you what's been marked into evidence as people's 178. You can identify what we see in people's 178, please. Yes, Ken?
It's a LG cell phone, blue in color with a barcode sticker.
And is this one of the cellular phones that was contained in the bag,
Yes, one.
tagged into evidence by yourself?
Yes.
Right, I'm going to move admission of people's 178, please.
Any objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
Admitted.
Now, was this item also processed for fingerprint evidence?
Yes, one.
Were you actually able to obtain a latent lift from this cellular phone?
On this one, yes.
When you actually are able to obtain a latent lift, what is the process of obtaining that lift and preserving it for later fingerprint analysis?
So the item was placed in the super glue fuming tank. After it was fumed, I processed it with fingerprint powder. Developed what appeared to be a latent lift that was lifted with tape, put on a backer, and then it's
On a backer.
backer. And then it's tagged into evidence.
All right, I want to show you three items, please. First of all, people's 176 and 177, one of these items, please.
Oh, it's the LG cell phone with the barcode sticker.
All right, where is the barcode sticker located?
It's on the back of the phone.
Do you recall where the latent lift was obtained from on the phone, please?
I did not agree on that tag for the latent lift.
Let me show you what's been marked into evidence as people's 179. What is that, please?
It's the latent lift from the LG cell phone with the barcode sticker.
All right, this time I'm going to move to admit people's proposed exhibits 176, 177, and 179, please.
Any objection?
No objection.
Admitted.
176, is that the front of that cellular phone, sir?
Yes, it is.
And 177, is that the back of that cellular phone?
Yes, it is.
All right, in addition to the latent lift that you obtained, did you also observe the presence of dried blood on this phone like you did on the other phone?
I did, yes.
Right. And I'm almost done here, sir. Just a couple more items. Try to do this as fast as I can. Let me show you first, please, people's exhibit number 182. Can you tell us what 182 is?
It's LG cell phone, blue in color, with a cracked screen.
In this cellular phone with the cracked screen, is this the third phone found in the bag?
Yes, it was.
Showing you people's 180 and 181 are those photographs of the cellular phone with the cracked screen.
Yes, sir.
All right, Your Honor, I'm going to move admission at this time, please, of people's proposed exhibits 180, 181, and 182.
Any objection or here?
No objection, Your Honor.
Admitted.
Are showing you People's Exhibit 180. Is that the front of that third phone that you observed?
Yes, it is.
Again, coated with suspected dried blood.
Correct.
And 181 is at the back of that cell phone.
Yes, it is.
And that is again coated with suspected dried blood. Is that correct?
Correct.
All right. You said there was one other item inside of the bag. And can you tell us what that was, please?
It was a half of a $20 bill.
And what, if anything, did you observe about the condition of that one-half $20 bill?
It also had suspected blood on it.
All right, let me show you these in bulk here. Let me show you these People's Proposed Exhibit 185. Tell me what that is, please.
It's the half of the $20 bill.
That was collected and tagged by yourself in your usual manner,
Yes.
showing you 183 and 184. Is that front and back of that $1.50 bill that you just described?
Yes.
All right, I'm going to move admission. I'm going to move admission of People's Proposed 185, 184, and 183.
Any objection or void here?
No, Your Honor.
All right, showing People's 183. Tell us what we're looking at in 183.
It's the front of the half of the $20 bill.
Showing us 184. Tell us what we're looking at in 184.
That is the back of the same half $20 bill.
And both of those items have reddish staining consistent with suspected dried blood. Is that accurate?
Correct.
And just so I'm clear, Detective Osborne grabbed me, when we talk about the latent print that you were able to pull off, that was pulled off the cellular phone with the barcode located on the back. Is that accurate?
Correct.
All right, good. Let me just double check. I got all my stuff in here. Thank you. I have no further questions.
Thank you.
Just give me a second to collect everything, please.
You may proceed when you're ready.
Good afternoon, Sergeant Stanley. All right, so how long had the vehicle been in the CSI garage before you got to take a look at it?
I'm not exactly sure when it showed up.
Okay, so, but you started your work on it on February the 1st, correct?
Correct.
And was one of the first things that you did such as collect items from inside of the vehicle?
Took photographs of the vehicle.
You took photographs of them? Did you actually remove them from the vehicle?
Eventually, yes.
Okay. So you took out the consumer's energy bill? Did you also remove water bottles
Yes.
that were in the vehicle? And I think we saw a photo of a Taco Bell cup, is that correct?
I believe so, yes.
Okay, so for the water bottles, you found a couple Kroger water bottles in the center console, correct?
Correct.
And there was another one in the driver's door pocket, correct?
I believe so, yes.
And that would have been next to the Taco Bell cup?
Yes.
And then there was also one in the rear, I guess, console part, the rear I guess the middle of the back cup holder essentially?
Yes.
And were you able, did you check those items for prints at all, or was that Officer Fearnow who would have done that?
CSI officer Fear now process those items.
Okay, so you helped get them out of the vehicle, but you didn't work on processing them, correct?
Correct.
And after that's when you started looking things over for blood at that point?
I believe so, yes.
And you found blood in several places, correct, that we went over earlier,
Yes.
Mr. Crino there? And so you found blood on, it'd be the front passenger door, correct?
Correct.
And the front passenger seat?
Underneath the rails and stuff, yes.
Okay, so on the edges of it essentially?
The bottom portion.
Yep. And you saw some on the center console, right?
Yes.
And there was some on the mat, the mat where people put their feet, correct?
Correct.
And you found some kind of in the foot area where the carpet had been cut away. Did you see blood in that area as well?
Yes.
And then prior to using Blue Star, you found more additional blood inside of the front passenger seat when you started cutting it open with the razor knife?
Correct.
Okay, so I just want to show you exhibit 78 real quick here.
You don't have.
Oh, sorry. There you go. Sorry. We'll fix that in a little bit. Okay. Let me show you people's exhibit 78. Okay, and you see people's exhibit 78 there, correct?
Yes.
And this mat has a drop of blood that was still on it, correct?
Correct.
And this is in the rear passenger side of the vehicle.
Yes.
So you got this vehicle, it would be a couple weeks after the disappearance of Mr. Watson, correct?
Again, I'm not sure the exact time on.
Okay, but you did your work on February the 1st, correct?
Correct.
So if it was reported that he went missing on January 12th, this would have been a couple weeks later, correct?
Correct.
And the blood here had not been washed off of that mat, right?
Doesn't appear so, no.
And there's also some salt stains and other kind of dirt and grime on that mat as well, correct?
Correct.
So as if somebody had, had their feet there on a snowy day.
Possibly, yes.
Now, you decided, you had found all of this blood on your own, with your own eyes, with the flashlight, correct?
Some of it, yes.
And despite that, you still chose to use Blue Star at that time, right? Or was that your decision, or was that something that was requested by Detective, I guess, then Osborne?
It was requested by the detective, yes.
And you followed that request?
Yes.
And when you spray Blue Star all over the inside of a car, that essentially ruins it for searching for fingerprints or that other type of material like that, correct?
Correct.
So as a result of spraying the Blue Star, you never looked to see if there was any fingerprints of anybody in the back seat or anywhere else in that vehicle, correct?
Correct.
And from the Blue Star, like I said, we obviously that helped you take those photos that showed a lot of the blood that you'd already found, correct?
Correct.
Now, Blue Star is a tool that's generally used by police to kind of locate blood, to see if there's blood around, correct?
Yes.
But in this situation, you had really already found the blood in several different areas of the vehicle at that point, before you ever used it, didn't you?
In some areas, yes.
And essentially, one other thing, you also testified that when you first got in the car, it had the odor of cleaning supplies too, correct?
Yes.
And in your time working CSI, did you ever come across the information that like cleaning products and stuff could or do show up when Blue Star is applied to them?
It does, but the reaction is different.
So there is some reaction, but it can be different from the blood.
Yes.
And so based on what your nose was telling you, was it pretty clear that cleaning agents had been used on the carpet and such?
Correct.
And so when you take these photos of this would pick up both reactions with the blood and reactions with bleach or whatever other cleaners, if there was some presence of some there?
Unlikely, but.
So you don't think it would pick up those other, well, didn't you just testify a minute ago that it does react with cleaning agents?
It does, but in my experience, when it reacts with a cleaning agent, it dissipates within seconds.
But you took the photos fairly close after you applied this here, didn't you?
It still takes, the shutter's open for 30 seconds.
Is open the shutter.
The shutter on the camera. It's not a spray and an instantaneous photo taken. It takes a second to get everything set up.
Okay, but the cleaning agents could distort some of what you found with the blood, couldn't it?
It's possible.
Did you really find any areas of blood in the car that you hadn't already found with your own eyes prior to applying the Blue Star though?
Yes.
Okay, where did you find it that you hadn't seen it with your own eyes?
The exterior of the front passenger seat.
But you had already cut open the passenger seat, you could see it underneath there, so I mean, you had already known the blood was there, correct?
I know it was inside the seat, yes.
So it didn't really change your knowledge of what was on that seat?
Oh, it did on the exterior of the seat.
Well, I mean, it's fair to say that you knew the blood didn't get to the inside without having touched the exterior.
Correct.
Okay, and then you got the bag of items that was, see, about a month later, March 3rd?
Correct.
And now when we saw the photos of the gloves, they looked like you took them out of the bag essentially, but I guess in my experience, when you take one of those kind of gloves off, they often kind of roll up. Did you have to unroll the gloves at all when you took them out of the bag?
I don't believe so, no.
So they were in the kind of looked like they hadn't been used or they had been rolled back down by the time that you got a hold of them?
Yes.
And you applied was it you or Officer Fierna who applied the fingerprint powder to the gloves? And that's what kind of changed the color of those gloves as well?
Yes.
Now, was that powder, I mean, doesn't that have the ability to, I guess, maybe throw off any future testing of those gloves? When you're sending it off to be tested for blood or DNA, would all the powder that's on there perhaps affect that?
Well, objection. First of all, this is a question for an expert. We had an expert testify this morning. She also testified that the application of fingerprints does not affect the ability to obtain DNA samples. So I think it's beyond the scope of this witness's expertise, and we have testimony that supports the answer already.
Okay, we'll move on here.
Thank you, rephrased or sustained, whatever you prefer.
You stated that you were able to get a print off of the blue phone, correct?
Correct.
Did you work on trying to match that to someone, or what did you do with the print after the fact?
I don't have the ability to match prints that it's tagged in and then sent to our fingerprint person and MSP.
Okay, so you send it to MSP and then somebody else actually tries to match it to somebody.
Somebody sends it there. Yes.
Okay. Okay, just a moment here. Hang on, let me see. Anything else here? No, you, okay, just a couple last questions. How many items did you personally fingerprint at that time? Was it just the items in the bag?
Yes.
Okay, and when you're doing that, do you use with one brush and kind of brush over all of the items? Or how do you do that? Do you have some way of cleaning the brush in between?
No, same brush is used for everything.
All right, do you take any precautions to make sure that some, DNA is not transferred from one item to another?
All my swabs are taken prior to printing.
Okay, so you take your swabs prior to the dust going on.
Correct.
Does the Lansing Police Department have some type of CSI manual that you're required to follow on this type of thing or not?
No.
Oh, and you also testified previously that you viewed, applying the blue star as more important than searching for fingerprints. Why is that?
We'd already taken DNA swabs from all the areas of the vehicle as well as the blood swabs. So we could get information from that over the prints.
All right, so I know you had several spots where you swabbed the blood that you found. So you also took swabs of just kind of regular areas, car handles or that type of thing too, or?
Yes, the door handles, the seats, from every seat position.
Okay, and then those you submitted to MSP or wherever you send them?
They were tagged in for quartermaster's evidence.
Okay. All right, thank you, Your Honor. No further questions at this time. Fix the.
Thank you. We proceed when you're ready.
Sergeant Pierre, tell us about the DNA swabbing that you did inside of the vehicle, please.
Prior or after photographs, DNA swabs were taken from the seat positions of the vehicle. Typically they're taken from the door handle, the door latch, and the seat, and in case like the driver's position, taken from the steering wheel as well.
In case of the way.
Driver area, the steering wheel as well.
All right, so DNA swabs were taken inside of the vehicle at places where people might sit, is that correct?
Correct.
And then blood swabs were taken from the areas of blood that were located inside of the vehicle, is that correct?
Yes.
Blue Star was done so that the presence of any additional blood that might be not available to the naked eye could be observed, is that correct?
Correct.
The Blue Star reaction that you observed, Officer Stanley, in your opinion as an experienced crime scene investigator, was that consistent with the possible presence of blood, or was it consistent with cleaning products?
It was consistent with the presence of possible blood.
And why is it that in your opinion that it's consistent with the possible presence of blood as opposed to, for example, cleaning products?
In my experience, when the Blue Star sprayed on like bleach or a cleaning agent, it will flash bright for just a second and then it will go away. Where with blood, it will stay illuminated blue for several minutes.
And what, if anything, did you observe about the duration of the Blue Star illumination in the spots we found?
That it was staying illuminated longer, which in my experience was consistent with blood.
All right. And in fact, officer, you showed us, just as an example, we had a blood spot here that went to the Michigan State Police Crime Lab. You've identified as KK, and then up close, you were able to actually show us in this photograph the area that was red staining consistent with suspected blood. Is that correct?
Correct.
And that would be, for example, consistent with this area in the vehicle, where in that exact location, we see the car illuminating with Blue Star. Isn't that correct, sir?
Correct.
So would that be again corroborative of the fact that the Blue Star reaction you observed was consistent with blood in that car as opposed to cleaning products?
Yes.
Okay. With respect to items taken out of that car, we're going to hear from Officer Fear now today. There were sort of incidental items, as Mr. Goodrich mentioned, water bottles, things of that nature that were taken out of the vehicle, correct?
Correct.
Those were not ignored by you and your team, were they?
No.
They were fingerprinted by somebody else, correct?
Yes.
And who fingerprinted those items?
CSI officer.
All right, so DNA swabs were taken in the vehicle, fingerprints were taken from items collected in the vehicle, is that correct?
Yes.
And then with respect to the items in the bag, the cell phones, the ripped dollar bill, the trash bag, fingerprint testing was done on all of those items, isn't that correct?
Correct.
Only one latent print could be developed off the phone with the barcode, is that correct?
Correct.
That latent print was tagged into evidence for later testing at the Michigan State Police Crime Lab, correct?
Yes.
DNA swabs were taken from the gloves, is that correct?
Yes.
DNA swabs were taken from all three of those cellular phones that were removed, correct?
Correct.
All right, thank you. Nothing further.
May this witness be released from subpoena?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much for your time today and testimony. You are now released from subpoena to access testimony and the witness to the dependency of this matter.
We'll call Officer Samuel Fear now when the court and jury are ready for that, Your Honor.
Thank you. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide will be the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Put your hand down. Have a seat. Feel free to adjust the microphone. Pull the chair right up there. And when you are comfortable, please state and spell your name for the record.
Sam Fearnow, last name Fearnow, F as in Frank, EARNOW.
May proceed, counsel.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good afternoon, Officer Fearnow. Can you tell the jury where are you employed?
City of Lansing Police Department.
In what capacity are you currently employed with the City of Lansing Police Department?
I'm a crime scene investigator.
How long have you been a police officer with the Lansing Police Department?
I've been an officer for 12 years.
And sir, how long have you been a crime scene investigator with the Lansing Police Department?
For the last 5.
All right. So I want to talk a little bit about some of your training in this area of crime scene investigation. In addition to being an experienced police officer, what type of additional training have you personally had to become a crime scene investigator?
So when I came into the crime scene unit, I was given training in crime scene photography, blood stain pattern analysis, shooting incident reconstruction, trace evidence collection. There's a lot of different forensic tools and methods we can use. There's a lot of different trainings that I went to.
Sir, during the time that you've been a crime scene investigator with the City of Lansing Police Department, have you also had some additional training in the area of shooting reconstruction?
Yes.
Tell us about that.
So I went through a week-long course in shooting incident reconstruction. A world-renowned instructor came to Lansing, taught us all about weaponry, types of ballistics, ammunition, what that can do to people, other types of targets, what ricochets can happen, what happens to bullets when they hit certain targets. It was very good training.
Can you tell the jury, please, when you completed your shooting reconstruction test training as a member of the crime scene team for the Lansing Police Department?
That would have been the summer of 21, so I think July.
Very good. As a member of the crime scene investigation team with the City of Lansing, sir, have you had occasion to process any homicides for the City of Lansing Police Department?
Yes.
Can you tell the jury, please, approximately how many homicide scenes you have processed as a crime scene investigator with the Lansing Police Department?
2020, we were over 20 homicides, 21 about the same, so 40, at least 50 or 60 homicides.
I want to direct your attention, please, to the date of February 1st, 2021. Were you so employed as a crime scene investigator in February of 2021?
Yes.
I want to direct your attention to approximately 1:00 p.m. Were you working on that date and time, sir?
Yes.
All right. And were you contacted to investigate or assist in investigation of a possible missing persons and or possible homicide that was being investigated by Detective Kasha Osborne?
Yes.
And in general, what type of investigative assistance were you asked to participate in at that time, sir?
So this case, a person was reported missing, suspected possibly homicide. So we didn't have a body or a scene to process, but we did have a vehicle that was driven by a suspect. So that vehicle was towed to our CSI garage and we processed it there.
During that time of February 2021, was it common that you would work in CSI with a partner?
Yes.
And who was your partner back in February of 2021?
Mark Stanley.
That's a gentleman that just walked out the door here today?
Yes.
All right. And did you and Sergeant Stanley work cooperatively together to process this subject 2011 GMC Yukon vehicle?
Yes.
All right. So I'm not going to go through the entire reprocessing of the vehicle, but a couple questions. When you and Officer Stanley worked together on this case to process the vehicle, how did you two work cooperatively to process that vehicle?
So I believe in this case, he started, took the initial photographs of the vehicle, took the initial DNA swabs. I helped later on in helping him locate blood evidence and using Blue Star to analyze the vehicle for any other hidden blood.
Is it common that you and Officer Stanley would work in tandem, sort of in lockstep with one another to process this vehicle or vehicles like it?
Yes.
All right. So I want to jump ahead and talk to you about some of the processing of items in the car. Were there sort of extraneous items in the car that were removed and processed for either fingerprints or DNA, if you recall?
Yes.
All right. Do you recall what items were processed for fingerprints that were removed from inside the vehicle?
I remember we removed a bottle of firearms oil.
All right, so let me just go through a couple items that were found inside, please. All right, did you process a water bottle that was located inside of the vehicle for fingerprints?
Yes,
Did you process a blue plastic cup that was found inside of the vehicle?
yes,
And did you process a bottle of something called vitamin water that was located inside of the vehicle?
yes.
And did you obtain any latent prints when you did that processing of those particular items for latent prints?
No, I don't think so.
You also said that you processed for latent prints an item of evidence that was removed from the vehicle showing what's been admitted as People's Exhibit number 29. Can you tell us what that is, please?
This is a bottle of gun oil, extreme duty. Extreme duty.
We've had testimony that that was located in the front driver's side compartment. Does that comport with your memory, sir?
Yes, the front driver's door pocket.
All right, and was this particular item processed for latent fingerprints?
Yes,
Did you do that?
I believe Stanley did that.
All right. What, if any, results were taken from this processing of this item for latent fingerprints?
He would have analyzed it with print powder and possibly setting the wiper light fuming. But again, I don't think we pulled anything off of it.
All right, do you recall if any items were removed from the car that were tested for DNA?
Yes, I believe so.
All right. Flip to another report here. All right, was a Taco Bell cup processed for fingerprints and DNA?
Yes,
And were 1, 2, 3, 4 Kroger water bottles taken and processed for DNA and latent prints?
yes.
With respect to the latent prints, were any latent prints developed on any of these items?
No, I don't believe so.
All right. So we've had extensive testimony about the processing of the interior of the vehicle and the items that were found in the vehicle. I want to now move forward, please, to August 16th of 2023. Before I do that, let me ask you this. When you and Officer Stanley were processing the vehicle, what, if any, structural defects did you observe that caught your attention inside the vehicle?
So the front passenger side door, on the door frame, right next to the window, we noticed a little mark right next to the window. Based on the circumstances of what we're looking at, we thought possibly at the time it could have been from a bullet strike, but at the time we had no way to either confirm or deny that. So we noted it, photographed it, and eventually the vehicle was towed to our impound lot for long-term storage.
I want to direct your attention, as I indicated, now to August 16th of 2023. So now somewhat about almost 2 years, more than 2 years after this vehicle was initially observed with the bullet strike in it. Is that correct, sir?
Correct.
Where was the vehicle located at that time?
It was towed to our impound lot on Sunset Avenue in the city.
So the vehicle had remained in the impound lot the entirety of that basically 2-year period in between the initial processing.
Yes.
All right. So was additional testing completed on that 2011 Yukon that you had previously evaluated with Officer Stanley all the way back in February of 21?
Yes.
Can you tell the jury, please, what type of testing was conducted?
Yes. So when I went through my shooting incident reconstruction course, one of the things the instructor talked about was bullet hole testing. So it's basically a chemical process to test for the presence of lead and or copper. Lead and copper are the two major components in most ammunition. Most bullets are a lead core with a copper jacket over top. They can be either whole metal jacket, meaning the whole lead core is encased in copper, or it can be hollow point, meaning that the front is open so that the bullet will expand. So he spoke about this chemistry testing that we could use. Once I found out about that, I remember back to this case and thought this would be a perfect opportunity to use that.
All right, so I want to show you some photographs. First of all, the gold or pewter GMC 2011 vehicle, was it photographed on the date that you did this additional testing all the way now in August of 2023?
Yes.
Let me show you some photographs of that, please, sir. Your Honor, by stipulation, I'm going to move for admission of people's proposed exhibits 135 through 138, please.
Any object, oh, it's by stipulation, I mean,
Thank you. All right. All right, showing you people's exhibit number 135. Officer Fearnought, can you tell us what we're looking at in 135?
That's the GMC Yukon inside the Yukon lot.
And is that the very same Yukon that you and Officer Stanley processed originally in February of 2021?
Yes.
Showing you people's exhibit number 136. What are we looking at in people's 136?
Another angle of the same vehicle.
And showing you people's exhibit 137. Tell us now what we're looking at in people's exhibit 137, sir.
So this is the open front passenger door. We put a little sticker on the door frame right next to the bullet strike, the suspected bullet strike right there.
All right, so that area that you've marked, that's the location where you observed initially that suspected bullet strike, correct?
Yes.
Had anything changed or altered about the condition of that suspected bullet strike between when you first observed it to this day?
No.
Did it appear to be identical, at least in appearance, from those both times?
Yes.
Right. In fact, let me show you people's exhibit 138. And you tell us what we're looking at in 138, please.
This is a close-up of the suspected bullet strike area. You can see I'm pulling back the rubber weather stripping right next to the window. So when you pull that back, you can see the chipped paint and dented area of metal right here.
The hole that was observed, describe the defect, I should say, the defect that was observed. Describe, please, what the defect to the rubber molding looked like first.
It was just a very slight, like a small cut, like a couple millimeters wide, an irregular shape. It wasn't circular or anything like that, just an irregular, like a abrasion to the rubber part.
Describe next for us, please. What did the defect in the metal portion behind the rubber molding look like?
So behind that on the metal is kind of a semicircular, maybe crescent shape mark in the paint, which was dented just slightly into the metal.
Without any further testing, sir, and I ask Officer Stanley the same thing, based upon your experience as a crime scene investigator, did this seem at least consistent with the appearance of other bullet strikes to vehicles that you'd seen before?
Yes.
Okay. So did you at least suspect that it was a bullet strike at that time?
Yes, based on all the circumstances in the case, the amount of blood we found in the vehicle, person missing, suspected homicide, and the fact that most homicides use a firearm, we suspected that this could possibly be a bullet strike.
All right, so now we're going to go about testing this pursuant to this training that you received in bullet strike testing. Is that correct, sir?
Yes.
All right. Do you have a specific methodology that you as a crime scene investigator use now in testing this particular vehicle?
So in this case, we obtained the materials, which consisted of a bullet test kit. It's a kit, comes with all the chemicals, all the equipment you need right for it. We did a control test on a known target that was struck by a bullet, and then we did the actual testing on the vehicle itself.
All right, let me walk you through that step by step. The bullet testing kit, where was that bullet testing kit obtained from?
A forensic supply store.
And did you take a photograph of that so that the jury could see the item that you were using to test this particular area of bullet strike?
Yes.
All right, let me approach with people's proposed 139 and 140. Show us what we're looking at in 139, please.
This is photos of the bullet test kit that we used.
All right, and do they fairly and accurately depict the bullet testing kit that you used in this particular testing on this particular day?
Yes.
They're all moving mission of 139 and 140, please.
any objection or what, dear?
No objection.
Admitted.
All right, so showing you people's exhibit number 139. Tell us what we're looking at in 139, please.
That's the exterior of the case, the full testing kit.
And showing you people's 140, tell us what all we're looking at inside of people's 140.
So this is the case opened up on the left. That's the lid, shows all the instructions on how to use the kit. On the right, on the left are all the equipment you need. So the little circles, those are little ampules containing all the chemicals you need for the testing. And then there's little paper, they call it bench coat paper. It's just like a absorbent piece of paper that you actually put the chemicals on, then you place it on top of the suspected bullet strike area.
All right, so walking through your methodology, sir, you first told us that you did some sort of a control testing. What do you mean by a control testing?
Basic science, you do a control test to confirm that your chemicals are working. You know exactly what happened in the control test, so you can test your procedure, make sure that it confirms your results. Therefore, you know it'll work when you do the real test.
What did your control testing consist of, please?
So we had a large metal plate that we actually used in the shooting incident reconstruction course. The instructor used it to demonstrate deflections. And you had visible bullet strikes on it. You can see exactly where the copper bullet hit the plate and left a mark.
Once you have the mark on the copper plate, what, if anything, do you do next during the course of your control testing?
So the first step, first we test for lead. So in this process, you take a piece of bench coat paper, you soak it with a solvent, just so it'll soak up any residue that's on your target surface. Take a piece of paper, soak it with the solvent, then you lay it on top of your suspected bullet strike area. Rub it in so it soaks up any material that may be on there. Remove it, and then you put the chemical on top of the paper. So in this case, we use sodium rhodizonate for lead. So sodium rhodizonate reacts to lead, it turns magenta color. So it's immediate reaction. As soon as you drop it on, it'll turn colors if there's presence of lead. And then we do the same thing for copper. But in that case, we use rubianic acid to test for copper, and that turns a green color.
What were the results of your control tests?
Positive reactions from both.
Did you take photographs of your control tests just to confirm your results?
Yes.
I want to hand you what's been marked into evidence as People's Proposal 141 through 145, asking you to identify what those are. What are those, please?
So those are photos of the metal plate before and after testing.
And do those fairly and accurately depict the control testing that you did in this case prior to testing on the vehicle?
Yes.
All right, showing you People's Exhibit number 141. What are we looking at 141?
It's a large metal plate.
142, what are we looking at, please?
So these are close-ups of the bullet strikes. You can actually tell which direction the bullet was going. So in this case, this way, circle area, and then it skipped off.
Showing you People's Exhibit 145. What do we see in 143? What do we see in 143?
Another close-up of the bullet strike, the marker to see in this one.
And then People's 144. What do we see represented in 144?
So this is the first test we did for lead. So we took this piece of paper, soaked it in solution, placed it on top of the suspected bullet strike, took it off and soaked it with sodium rhodizonate. And all this purple magenta area, that's all lead. So you can even see, so this is exactly where the bullet struck and then deflected, and then all those little dots, that's all vaporized lead, because the bullet struck at such a high velocity, it caused very small particles to flake off and land on the metal.
And bear in mind, sir, when we're doing this, this is a very recent bullet strike that you are checking the reaction on. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. And lastly, showing you People's 145. What do we see in 145, please?
This is the test for copper. So again, same thing, paper, solution, put it on top of the strike, take it off, soak it with that rubianic acid. And then all this green is copper and vaporized copper from when the bullet struck the metal.
All right. So after you conducted your control testing in the manner that you just described, you then apply that basic chemical reaction testing to the bullet strike that you see inside of the 2011 GMC Yukon.
Yes.
Tell us what you did, please.
So Detective Osborne obtained an additional search warrant for the vehicle. With Detective Lugano. We got a search warrant for the vehicle just due to the time between when it happened and when we did the test. Went up towards the Sunset lot, the Yukon lot, had to open the vehicle. We actually had to break into the vehicle again because it was been locked. So that tells us that the vehicle was secure the whole time it was out there because we had to break into it. Nobody had a key. Opened it up, took more photos, close-ups of the suspected bullet impact area, and then did that same test.
Tell us how you did the test on the bullet hole. What area did you first test?
So the first time we did a test with the rubber weather stripping in place, just placed the paper over top of it. And then we did an additional test by peeling back the weather stripping and testing underneath that area. So we did that for both lead and copper.
All right. When you first tested for lead outside on the exterior of the rubber molding, what, if anything, were the results of this chemical compound?
So we had a small area of reaction with the first test, probably about 2 millimeters by 5 millimeters wide. It somewhat resembled the shape of the indent in the metal. We did a test with copper on the first time and got no reaction with the initial one.
Did you then pull back the weather stripping?
Yes.
What did you do next?
When we pulled back the weather stripping and did an additional test, we had an even bigger reaction for lead, and we did get a small reaction for copper, the second one.
And what, if anything, did you interpret those field test results to be as it relates to the possible presence of a bullet that had struck that location?
So when we interpret these results, we have to look at all the conditions that went into it. So it had been over 2 years since the time it happened until when we tested. The vehicle had been cleaned, no bullet had been found, and due to the irregularity size shape of the bullet strike, that tells me that this bullet must have either been deflected off something or passed through something before it hit this door. If I were to fire a gun and it would go straight into that door, it would be a regular shape, a circle, that would be very noticeable, very easy to see. But because it was small and irregular, that tells me this was a small bullet fragment traveling at a lower velocity because it had hit something before it struck that. So keeping that in mind and the fact that it had been cleaned, it made sense that we got a much smaller reaction for the lead and the copper.
There was, however, a reaction for lead and copper consistent with the presence of a bullet striking that area.
Yes.
Did you photograph your results for memorialization of what you observed?
Yes.
Let me show you what's been marked into evidence as People's Proposal 146 through 149. Ask if you can identify what we're looking at, please. Can you tell us what those are, please?
That's, excuse me, photos of the test papers you did.
Those photographs fairly and accurately memorialize the results of your testing that you just described on the suspected bullet hole in the 2011 GMC Yukon vehicle.
Yes.
I'll move the admission at this time of People's Proposal 146 through 149.
Any objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
Admitted.
All right, so let me go through this with you and just so the jury's aware, we're showing all of them and then sort of individually each finding. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So showing you People's 146, please. Tell the jury what we're looking at in 146.
So these are all 4 tests together. Again, it's kind of hard to see, but we have first for lead, then we did first for copper, then we did second for lead, and then second for copper.
And just so we're clear, first for lead, first for copper, that's with the rubber molding down. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. What, if anything, do you observe in terms of your results for first for lead and first for copper with the molding down?
So again, very small area of reaction for lead right here, and then nothing visible on copper.
When you pulled the weather stripping back and tested for lead and copper, what, if anything, do you observe?
A larger area of reaction for lead and smaller areas of reaction for copper.
Let me show you those even more in depth so the jury can see. I know the overhead's not great with this. What are we looking at in People's 140? Oh boy, I don't know if that's very good at all. There we go. Lighting will help. What are we looking at as best as possible in 147, please?
This is the first test for lead. Again, you can see that small area of reaction right here.
And then showing you the second test that was done on the actual metal surface. Tell us what we observed here, please.
And you can see a larger area of reaction with smaller spots around it.
Showing you lastly 149, please. What are we looking at in 149, please?
So these are the copper tests. It's kind of hard to see in this photo, but there are some small dots, areas of reaction on the second one.
All right, consistent with copper striking that surface, is that correct?
Yes.
I guess my question is, could this be reacting with the metal door itself, or would it be unique to the proponents of what we find typically in bullets?
So lead is a harmful substance. They don't use it on a lot of materials. It's not something they typically use to manufacture vehicles. They use it in bullets, some types of batteries, and a few other components. It's not something that you would normally find in a door frame. Copper, a little bit more common. They use it for wiring, stuff like that. But again, not something you're going to find on the exterior of a door copper. So the mere fact that we find lead and copper there is very indicative of a bullet strike. Not something you would expect to find there.
All right. So we are now jumping time zones. We're in August of 2023. We were in February of 2021. I'm going to take you back to February of 2001, just 2 days after you processed the first vehicle, to the date of February 3rd of 2021. So were you also asked by Detective Osborne to process a second vehicle identified as a red Chrysler 300 vehicle?
Yes.
Was a search warrant obtained to search the interior of the red Chrysler vehicle?
Yes.
Did you process that together with Officer Stanley or just by yourself, if you recall?
That was by myself.
And was a search warrant obtained to search the interior of this red Chrysler 300 vehicle?
Yes.
All right. Do you recall where the red Chrysler 300 vehicle was located when you processed it?
It was at north side towing, secure lot on their property.
Is that common that CSI officers will process an item that's located not in the CSA garage, but at another secured facility?
Yes, so we have a CSI garage that we like to bring vehicles to, but again, it's only so big. We can get pretty busy at certain times. So that, in our CSI garage, we have 2 bays for vehicles. If that's full, we can use Northside Towing or PJ's Towing. They have indoor secured areas that we can store vehicles until we can get to them.
All right, sorry, I just was informed by my team who's watching over my shoulder here that I forgot to admit an exhibit. Let's time jump again, okay? We showed you photographs of your testing, the copper and lead testing. You recall that testimony?
Yes.
All right, in addition to photographs, were the actual results of the items, of the testing items tagged into evidence for people to take a look at later?
Yes.
Let me show you those 2 items here, 150 and 151. Identify what those are, please.
These are the test papers we collected that day.
And they were tagged into evidence by yourself, sir?
Yes.
All right, I'm going to move admission of 150 and 151. Thank you.
Any objection or voir dire?
No objection.
Admitted.
All right. Pull you back. Red Chrysler, February 3rd, 2021, okay?
Yes.
Had a search warrant been obtained to process this vehicle, sir?
Yes.
Can you give us a general idea how you as a CSI officer approach processing a vehicle?
So vehicles, just like any scene or building we might search, we'll start with photographs, start on the outside. So a vehicle, I'll start at the back, then the corner, side, corner, front, corner, all the way around the vehicle. I'll get closest to the plate, closest to the bin. Then I open the vehicle, start photographing the inside, so I'll get closer to the door, looking into the interior of the vehicle, floor, seat, roof, work around the whole vehicle, every door, open the trunk, photograph that, open the glove compartment, photograph that. Once I've initially photographed the whole vehicle, then I'll go through and start looking, depending on circumstances. If I'm going to take DNA swabs, I would do that first thing, search the vehicle, look for late prints, whatever other processes I need to do.
Right, in accordance with your standard methodology, sir, did you take photographs of the exterior of this vehicle?
Yes.
All right. I'll show you some photographs, please, that have been previously admitted into evidence through the testimony of Officer Brandenburg, who sees this vehicle. Let me just cycle through these with you, please. This is exhibit number 6. Do you recognize the vehicle in this photograph, sir?
Yes.
And is this the north side lot that you described, please?
Yes.
Are these photographs that you took of the vehicle?
Yes.
Just cycling through them. Vehicle number 7, what portion of the vehicle is that?
The back of the vehicle,
Vehicle exhibit number 8.
front passenger corner vehicle.
What, if anything, did you observe about the presence of damage to that vehicle in the passenger side quarter panel?
There was damage there.
Was exhibit 9. What is that, please?
Front driver's side corner.
A couple of good photos here. At this time, Your Honor, people's proposed exhibits 152 and 156.
Any objection or point here?
No, Your Honor.
Admitted.
152, sir. Tell us what we're looking at in 152.
A close up of the plate of the vehicle.
153, tell us what we're looking at, please.
This is the open driver's door of the vehicle.
154, tell us what we're looking at in 154, please.
Just looking in through the open driver's door.
155, tell us what we're looking at in the interior of that vehicle.
A close up of the driver's floor.
Vehicle number 156, what are we looking at, please?
Looking in through the front passenger door.
Did you also process the interior of this vehicle in accordance with your standard methodology?
Yes.
And did you take photographs of the interior of the vehicle?
Yes.
I'm going to move admission by stipulation, Your Honor, of people's proposed 157 through 165.
Any objection or point here?
No, Your Honor.
Admitted.
All right, showing you people's 157. What do we see inside of people's 157, sir?
This is looking inside the center console.
People's 158. What do we see in people's 158?
Looking in through the rear driver's side door.
People's 159. Tell us what we're looking at, please.
Looking in again through the rear passenger door. To the driver.
People's 160. What do we see in people's 160?
Close to the floor, that same area.
People's 161. What are we looking at?
This is looking in through the rear passenger side door.
People's 162. What are we looking at?
Looking in the front passenger door with the glove compartment open.
People's 163. What are we looking at, please?
Close up of the glove compartment.
Now, when you processed the interior of this vehicle, sir, in candor, did you find anything of real evidentiary value inside the vehicle?
No.
Did you, unlike the GMC Yukon that we've discussed, did you find any evidence of blood inside that vehicle?
No.
Did you find any weapons inside that vehicle?
No.
Did you find any evidence of ballistics in that weapon, in that vehicle, shell casings, bullets, things of that nature?
No.
Did you find anything indicative of a struggle in that vehicle?
No.
Did you find a large amount of money in that vehicle?
No.
Did you find any evidence of criminal activity inside that vehicle, sir?
No.
All right. If you had, would you have seized that in accordance with your standard methodology?
Yes.
Showing you people's 164, sir. What, if anything, is contained in 164?
Photo of the open trunk of the vehicle.
So that appears to be pretty empty. Is that right?
Yes, empty and clean.
All right. Nothing that was seized or of import to this investigation contained in the trunk?
No.
And lastly, sir, people's 165. What do we see in 165?
engine compartment.
Anything that you observed about the open-ended compartment that was of relevance to your investigation?
No.
All right. All right, thank you. I have no further questions.
Ross.
Good afternoon, Officer Fear.
Good afternoon.
So when you began the search of the Yukon, that would have occurred on February 1st of 21?
Yes.
Okay, and was it you or Sergeant Stanley who gathered the items from inside the vehicle?
He took primary in the initial search of the vehicle. He took photographs and then, yes, he collected the items.
But were you the one who actually went looking for fingerprints on them?
Yes.
Okay. And you did not find any fingerprints on any of those items that came out of the vehicle?
No.
I believe during direct you mentioned that you did take DNA swabs of a couple of the items. Which items did you get DNA swabs of?
I believe that would have been the cup with the straw, possibly the water bottles. I don't recall off the top of my head.
Okay, so you don't recall if you got the water bottles or not?
No.
No, when you and I guess Sergeant Stanley were processing the Yukon, at some point you did just made the decision to use Blue Star to try to reveal more blood, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. But then as a result of that, you were not able to search for fingerprints at all from any of the interior of the car outside of the items that you removed?
So any area where we spray Blue Star, you're basically spraying water on the area. And when you spray water on a non-porous surface, it'll cause things to run, smear, any fingerprints that might have been there would most likely have been ruined by the water. Yes.
Okay, could you have searched for fingerprints prior to using Blue Star?
Could have, but anytime you introduce something new into an environment, there's a chance you're gonna ruin any other potential DNA. In this case, our biggest focus was looking for blood, with the idea that somebody may have been murdered inside this vehicle. We wanted to collect as much blood as possible. So introducing fingerprint powder and any other latent print chemicals could potentially ruin any DNA that we might have collected.
But officer, you had already found several places where there was blood in the vehicle prior to using Blue Star, correct?
Correct.
And you had taken swabs of that blood to get DNA, to have it checked for DNA?
Yes.
And you had removed the seat of the front passenger seat prior to using Blue Star?
Yes.
So you already had a substantial amount of blood evidence at the point prior to using Blue Star, correct?
Well, substantial is, depends on how you look at it. With the fact that this vehicle had been tampered with, that it had been cleaned, that areas of it had been removed, the carpet underneath the seat, we felt that it was more important to find any and all blood that might have been in the vehicle.
Okay. And now obviously you worked on a lot of homicides. How often do you use Blue Star when you're searching for blood evidence?
Quite a bit.
Do you think it could be half of those times or the majority, or where would you estimate?
I would say I've used it 6 times a year over the course of my last 5 years working there.
Okay, now, obviously I know you do a lot of the CSI work for the Lansing Police Department, but back in January of 21, were you fairly new to the CSI department at that time?
Yes, I've been there for about a year.
About a year, okay. And are there certain techniques that you've picked up over your 5 years that would you perhaps do things somewhat differently than you did at that point?
Yes, I've definitely learned more since I've been there.
Now, you stated when you went to test the possible bullet strike, that would have been what, August of 23, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, so we're talking about 2.5 years after you first went over that vehicle?
Yes.
And, okay, and you talked about doing a control test for lead and copper. Why is it important to do that control test like that?
So again, so you know that your chemicals are working, so you know that your methodology is sound, so that when you do the real test, you can rely on results.
Now, you said that you had just learned this from a training prior to that, correct?
Correct.
Was this literally the first time you used it in the field on a case?
It was.
And now you said that you did a control to see if they were working, correct? Did you do any type of negative control to see if you were getting a false reading of some sort?
Well, when you do the test, the whole paper is soaked in the solution, and then you take it back and you soak the whole area with the chemical again. So any area that doesn't show chemical change, that is a negative reaction. So when you're doing the test, you're doing a positive and a negative reaction at the same time.
Okay. And I mean, the reason you did this test is you believed it was a bullet strike prior to, that's the reason you went back in the first place, correct?
Yes.
And you were essentially trying to confirm what you believed to be the case?
Yes.
And you never found any type of bullet or any bullet fragments in the car when you took it apart, correct?
Correct.
And now you testified that if a bullet had been shot directly into the car, that it would have perhaps moved through it. Is that what your testimony was, as opposed to kind of leaving the mark that it did?
Yes, if a bullet had gone straight from the muzzle of a gun to the door, if it had struck the metal, it would have left a dent in the metal of the hole. If it had gone through the window, it would have left a circular hole in the window.
Now, with this being a bullet fragment, is it possible a bullet would it deflect? If, let's say, if it hit a person, would it kind of deflect angles a little bit in?
So if we're assuming that this bullet struck a person and struck flesh, there's no way to accurately predict what its trajectory will be after it leaves that person. There's bone, there's blood, there's tissue, muscle, skin, all that stuff plays a factor. Plus, we don't know what type of bullet it was, whether it was full metal jacket, hollow point, what caliber, all that stuff would go into that. We can reasonably assume that if this was a bullet fragment, it came from an area generally from the driver's side toward the passenger side. But again, we can't say exactly what the trajectory might have been.
So it could be off up or down, left or right, correct?
Yes.
And then, it was back in 21, I think, maybe a couple of days after you went over the Yukon is when you worked on the Chrysler 300?
Yes.
And you said that you found just kind of the front quarter panel was all smashed up?
Yes.
Did you find parts of that in the trunk of the vehicle?
No, I don't believe so.
So you don't recall them being, any parts being found in the trunk of the vehicle?
No.
Would reviewing your police report from February 3rd of 2021 perhaps refresh your memory regarding that subject?
Yes.
You're fine.
Yes, we did find parts in the trunk.
When you say we, was it you or your partner, or who did that?
I haven't spoken. I found parts.
Thank you.
And officer, you stated that you didn't find anything else of what you consider to be evidentiary value, is that correct?
Correct.
Did you try to apply the Blue Star in that vehicle to search for blood, since you didn't see any?
No, I did not.
And you didn't, with no?
Correct.
Give me 1 second. One other thing I want to ask, when you spray Blue Star in a vehicle, are you concerned that it damages any possible DNA that could be found inside the vehicle?
So according to the manufacturer of Blue Star does not destroy DNA. They state that specifically in the product. I'm not a biologist. We used it to collect samples before and we've never had any problems with it.
Okay, so, but do you typically try to get the samples before you use the Blue Star or after, or do you not really worry about it because it's supposed to be fine either way?
Well, we don't know there's a sample there until we spray Blue Star. So if we can see the sample, we'll collect it, but we're using Blue Star when we can't see one. That's the whole point.
Okay. No further questions at this time.
Redirect.
Officer Fear now, this was a missing persons investigation, right?
Correct.
And Andrew Watson had disappeared 2 weeks before you processed this vehicle, right?
Correct.
So when we're looking for something inside that vehicle, we're not only we're looking for someone inside that vehicle. Isn't that correct?
Correct.
I mean, why is it important to look for blood inside of a vehicle in a missing persons case?
That person might have been murdered.
We're trying to find the whereabouts of that person, aren't we?
Yes.
Would blood be the priority to see if some sort of catastrophic event happened to that person in that vehicle?
Yes.
Is that why Blue Star was applied here as a priority in this case?
Yes.
DNA swabs were taken throughout the vehicle, is that correct?
Yes.
Photographs documenting the content of that vehicle were taken, correct?
Yes.
Fingerprints of all items inside the vehicle were taken, isn't that correct, sir?
Yes.
All right, thank you.
May this witness be released from subpoena?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your time and testimony. You are released from subpoena. Please do not discuss your testimony with any witness during the pendency of this matter.
Yes, ma'am. Your Honor, can I address the court? I think that might have
Yes.
something to do with the court's next decision. Counsel and I met this morning. Had one more witness set for today, and that was Detective Andrew Waldrop from the Lansing Police Department. Rather than call Officer Waldrop to testify to try and maximize everybody's time, we have reached an evidentiary stipulation regarding his testimony, and we will not need to call him. That evidentiary stipulation, if I could put on the record, is as follows. The parties are stipulating, Your Honor, that cellular phones obtained from the defendant, Willie James Jr., during the Michigan State Police traffic stop were taken by Detective Waldrop of the Lansing Police Department and given directly to Detectives Kasha Osborne and Detective Martha McGonigal of the Lansing Police Department within a 24-hour period.
They're an accurate statement, counsel?
Yes, it is.
Thank you.
So that'll be the chain on those phones, Your Honor. There's no need to call Detective Waldrop, and we're out of witnesses for the day.
All right, and defense stipulates then with that statement to release the detective from testifying, correct?
I have no objection to that.
All right, so released, so stipulated. We're done for today. We'll see you tomorrow at 9. Remember to take your.
Just here.
All right. Let's see, we got one person in here. That's all right. So I'm gonna go ahead and call this one for today. I'll see you on the next one, which is Judge. Judge Perez. So I'll see you tomorrow for Judge Perez. For now, tata and ciao ciao. You all have a wonderful, wonderful evening, and I'll catch you on the next one.